talking about the synthesis of the NYPD and many of the Wall Street firms, who all the anger is directed at in this Occupy Wall Street movement, and who are under investigation for all their fraudulent policies and the rest of it. At least 700 cameras scour the Midtown area and also relay live feeds into the downtown center, where low-wage law enforcement officers sit alongside high-wage personnel from those Wall Street firms who are currently under at least 51 federal and state corruption probes. And this is something they've been working on since at least 2009, when Bloomberg talked about the Midtown Manhattan Security Initiative. And it's really this supposed high-security ring where they could follow suspected people who haven't maybe committed a crime yet but look suspicious, or they want to follow people of a certain profile. Meanwhile, the real criminals are on Wall Street. We know who a lot of them are, and the rest of them should be investigated, but the police are busy working with those Wall Street people to keep an eye on what may amount to petty crime. Sure, there's murders and the rest of it going on in New York City, but why is it focused on the financial district? It's because they knew these riots were coming. And you've also got Wall Street corporations renting their own NYPD unit to spy on protesters and to beat back protesters, basically. And it's found that for a measly fee of $37 per hour per officer, you can rent uniformed on-duty NYC cops. Goldman Sachs and the New York Stock Exchange, among others, have been frequent customers. And this article found that they were spending somewhere on the order of $11 million per year in the year 2011 for this kind of private-public security partnership. These are taxpayer-funded cops, and any alleged abuses that may occur while they're monitoring protesters and the rest of it would be paid for by taxpayers if it went to trial and so forth. But they benefit these corporations who are under the eye of ordinary people upset about these economic policies, whether or not they have the right analysis or the right idea. And meanwhile, you have L.A. Sheriff calling photojournalism a suspicious activity. There's been at least 2 people detained and searched for photographing in L.A., one of them photographing turnstiles on the L.A. Metro, and asked, was he planning to sell the photos to Al-Qaeda, and then the officer threatened to put his name on the FBI's hit list and basically intimidated him into believing he'd be followed and bothered every time he went anywhere, tried to fly, travel, the rest of it. Sean Nee says he was detained and searched for photographing turnstiles on the L.A. Metro, and that the arresting deputies asked if he planned to sell the photos to Al-Qaeda and threatened to put his name on the hit list. And it goes on in an extended quote where the Officer Gelfi said, I want to know who you are. I want to know why you're taking pictures on the subway system. Al-Qaeda would love to buy your pictures, so I want to know if you're in cahoots with Al-Qaeda to sell those pictures to them for terrorist purposes. That's a crime, you understand? When Nee again said he was committing no crime, Gilfie told Nee he was being detained until he's determined he hasn't committed a crime. So guilty until proven innocent for photographing. This has happened to me at the Kansas City outside the Federal Reserve there, and on dozens of other occasions. And I know many, many photographers who've been harassed for this kind of behavior. And we actually have footage in Fall of the Republic. I think we're going to be able to play that here in a moment, where they target law enforcement officers through the Homeland Security apparatus and tell them to focus on photographers who may be suspicious because they could be working with terrorists.
State and local officers are in a great position to collect important information on terrorists and their allies. And the Terrorist Screening Center stands ready to help you.
This video, produced by Homeland Security, is required viewing for all departments in the U.S.
And with the teamwork of local, state, and federal law enforcement, we have an excellent opportunity to see the picture and solve the puzzle before these terrorists can strike again.
State, county, and city police now take their marching orders directly from DHS and FEMA. The videos and training manuals turn peace officers, once guardians of the Republic, into secret police.
See way down there? There's a woman taking photos of the dam. Someone called 911 and reported a suspicious person. As you guessed, she's going to be a Category 3 hit. And since it's very important that we don't let her know that we know, both the dispatcher and the officer need to make sure she doesn't hear the radio traffic.
Stand by. If I could ask you to wait right here, please.
Sure.
As you can see, they're training law enforcement officers, security, whomever, to just freak out at the sign of any camera, assume it's suspicious and somehow working with terrorism. You've also seen reports for years that Alex has reported on, and it's in this video too, where ordinary stuff, Levi jeans, maps, binoculars, camping gear, scuba gear, it's all considered suspicious, and citizens are to be regarded as potential criminals no matter what, even though Al-Qaeda, if it even exists, is at best a Fast and Furious style scandal. From 9/11 to the rest of it, our troops are overseas under harm's way. 3,000 people died, trillions of dollars spent on these wars, and there's no provable Al-Qaeda, but all the American people are to be suspect. It's all part of the domestic extremist agenda, and now they're actually harassing really regular reporters in this story. It's up on INFOWARS.com and Courthouse News Service. So photography is not the only activity explicitly protected under the First Amendment that continues to be undermined by police officers who've been told to expect the worst from people who've not committed a crime. Once again, now, in the continuing Occupy protest movement, we have video right here of at least 2 police provocateurs in Oakland who were caught posing as protesters. You see him on the left as a protester and on the right in the police lineup. Another gentleman here, if you could call him a gentleman. And why are they even infiltrating? These people have been peaceful. They haven't done anything. They have a right to speak out about their grievances. But this is what you begin to expect in a society that's unraveling for economic reasons. It's a clampdown from the police state. They've given rationales and reasoning to good police officers, other people in law enforcement and so-called security. But really, it's a systematic clampdown on the people as they take over everything, as they prepare for austerity or whatever else they have in mind. You've seen the footage from the Great Depression, and I really hope that's not where we're headed. But there's reason to think that. Meanwhile, Homeland Security continues to ramp up its paranoid surveillance with new spy streetlights. Paul Watson writes again about the federally funded streetlights capable of recording conversations. You saw his report earlier in the week on the Drudge Report and other websites about the IntelliStreet system that's being installed in major cities. And it's definitely Orwellian. This is right out of 1984, literally. You can see it has wireless, it has a computer application, it has a speaker, it has visual recording, and these little banners to put up emergency messages. And Homeland Security admits, and they admit in the video that they pulled out of embarrassment, that they can put emergency broadcast on here, and they can spy on people, monitor populations surrounding the light poles, and a whole lot more. Now, it bears some relation to the talking CCTV cameras that were announced in the UK back in 2007 that would bark orders at people who, for instance, didn't throw away their trash, trying to curb so-called antisocial behavior and the rest of it. And you also probably remember how the talking CCTV cameras accused the wrong person. That's just part of it, but really it's an embarrassing Minority Report style clampdown on people who have not committed a crime. Now here's the press release from IntelliStreet's Big Brother or Big Idea. What IntelliStreet's system is designed to do is simply make our streets safer, more energy efficient and smarter while being informative and entertaining. It's not meant to be an Orwellian Big Brother clampdown, even though it's just like the telescreens in that system and the hidden microphones in the parks and even the wildlife areas in 1984. That's because that style of English socialism is part of the Fabian socialist program that they're generally bringing in everywhere. It's the same as the general communist program. They're Sovietizing the entire world through this police state mechanism, taking away all independence from our business and our personal lives, and planning just to monitor us all, of course, for our own good. Meanwhile, German authorities have defended and said there's nothing wrong with their spyware that they put onto citizens' computers. Digitask, a private company, created for the Bavarian police a Trojan horse software that's downloaded through innocent-looking email, which can do all sorts of spy mechanisms, including screenshots, remotely adding files, controlling a computer's microphone or webcam to monitor the person's home, and more. But authorities insist that's not the reason. Seemingly innocuous email plants malicious spyware on your computer, allowing strangers not only to access your private communications, but also to spy on you in your own home. The fact that such invasive technology was deployed by officials in Germany has caused uproar. That's because they have similar privacy laws that are similarly being overridden for supposed security reasons. Ben Franklin, among others, warned that if you trade your liberty for security, you'll end up with neither, and that basically you deserve neither, and that's true here too. Now, the other part of this is that Alex warned for years how these computer microphones and webcams can be used to monitor in your home, can be remotely accessed by law enforcement, by hackers, by whomever to spy on you. People laughed even to this day. They say, what a load of crock, but here it is admitted in this German case, and they've been using this spyware since 2009. There's so much more police state news, but that's all we're covering tonight on the INFOWARS Nightly News. Alex will be back tomorrow and back in full force on the marathon 24-plus hour broadcast for the November 3rd Money Bomb. Tune in for free, watch the streams, and you can spread the word and help us build this operation. We rely on your support. Thank you so much, and good night.
Our mission at INFOWARS.com is to audit the Fed, abolish the Fed, restore the Constitution, abolish the TSA, restore the Second Amendment, restore the Constitution, restore the Republic. And if you believe in those goals, then it is your free will, responsibility, and honor to spread the word about our operation and to donate to the 2011 Money Bomb. For many years, I tried to basically stay small, make my films, do my radio show, but it grew and grew and grew. Think about how a money bomb that listeners started 4 years ago led to us being able to move into this bigger office. A later money bomb helped us expand into the empty warehouse next door. And in the last year, we have built the TV studios and put the equipment in and are now doing a nightly news show every night at 7 o'clock that we're now beta testing and getting ready for television. Right now going out to members at PrisonPlanet.tv and then reaching millions as it spills out onto YouTube and other systems. Help us go to the next level. Not reaching 15 million a week, but reaching 30, 40, 50 million a week. Our growth curve is exponential, but we need to hit our afterburners and turbocharge. History is happening now. The war for human liberty against total dehumanization is on now. Join us Thursday, November 3rd at INFOWARS.com. We're going to have a 24-hour plus live transmission with guests and interviews starting at 11 a.m. and running into my next radio show the next day. We're going to have a huge lineup of liberty-loving patriots from all over the world joining us. It's going to be amazing. And this money bomb is going to have a lot of new things added to it that's going to make it even more powerful than past years. So please donate at InfoWarsMoneyBomb.com or InfoWars.com/moneybomb, or simply spread the word about the money bomb. Stand with InfoWars.com and my incredible crew and all of our other supporters and help us get the word out even more. The ball is in your court. The rest is up to you. It's InfoWars Money Bomb 2011, November 3rd. It kicks off 11 a.m. Visit the website at InfoWarsMoneyBomb.com, InfoWars.com/moneybomb.